Imagine a complete reset. New cars, new engines, her new rules, new physics. And yet, one name keeps rising to the top before a single lap of 2026 has even been driven. Max Verstappen. Not because of hype, not because of reputation, but because when Formula One presses the reset button, the sport unintentionally creates the exact conditions where his strengths become lethal. Today, we're exposing why Max Verstappen may already hold an invisible advantage for 2026. And what other drivers, teams, and even fans are completely missing. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this regulation reset could widen the gap instead of closing it. Formula One has always believed that regulation changes level the field, tear everything down, rebuild from scratch, and suddenly dominance disappears. But history tells a darker story. Regulation resets don't punish the best drivers. They reward the ones who adapt faster than everyone else. And Max Verstappen has built his entire career around one thing: adaptation under chaos. That's why insiders across the paddock quietly admit something unsettling. The 2026 rules may actually play into his hands. Let's rewind for a moment. When the ground effect era began in 2022, many expected uncertainty. Instead, Max didn't just adapt, he dominated. By 2023, he delivered one of the most crushing seasons in modern history, winning 19 races. Even when competition tightened in 2024 and 2025, his performance didn't collapse. He remained the benchmark. That's important because consistency through regulation instability is the clearest predictor of success in 2026. Now here's where things get interesting. The 2026 regulations aren't just a minor tweak. They are a fundamental philosophical shift. Smaller, lighter cars, less reliance on traditional aerodynamics, a far heavier emphasis on electrical power deployment. Energy management will no longer be a background detail. It becomes the fight itself. Drivers won't just race each other, they'll race the system. And this is where Max's hidden advantage begins. Verstappen doesn't drive in moments, he drives in sequences. While many drivers focus on the corner in front of them, Max is already calculating what happens 3 corners later. His throttle control, lift and coast timing, and instinctive understanding of energy recovery have quietly become elite weapons. In a 2026 world where managing electrical deployment lap by lap could decide races, that mindset is priceless. Multiple team principals have already hinted that 2026 will reward drivers who understand hybrid systems intuitively, not just mechanically. Even Toto Wolff has suggested that simulator-driven intelligence and adaptability may outweigh raw aggression. That's ironic because Max has both. And let's pause here for a second. If you're still watching, congratulations. You're clearly an F1 addict like the rest of us. Go ahead and subscribe now, because YouTube's algorithm needs more love than Ferrari's strategy department. Trust me, future you will thank you. Back to the advantage everyone is missing. Max Verstappen's driving style has always lived on the edge of instability. He prefers a nervous front end. He thrives with rear movement. While other drivers search for comfort, Max searches for rotation. Under current regulations, that already makes him hard to copy. Under 2026 rules, where cars will have reduced downforce and less aerodynamic grip, that style becomes devastating. Why? Because when grip disappears, feel matters more than theory. Many drivers rely on aerodynamic consistency. Max relies on mechanical understanding. He feels grip changes before data confirms them. In low downforce conditions, that sensitivity becomes a superpower. Drivers who need stability will struggle. Drivers who can dance with instability will rise. This is exactly why teammates have always struggled to replicate his pace. We saw it repeatedly at Red Bull Racing. Same car, same engineers, different universe of performance. That gap wasn't luck, it was style. Now imagine an entire grid forced into cars that slide more, rely less on aero, and punish hesitation. That's not neutral territory, that's Verstappen territory. Here's the part nobody likes to talk about: fear. Max Verstappen has become inevitable. Drivers don't just race him, they anticipate him. They second-guess overtakes, they compromise lines, they back out earlier than they should. That psychological weight matters even more in a regulation reset because confidence becomes fragile. When you don't fully trust the car yet, the last thing you want is Max Verstappen appearing in your mirrors under braking. And that's not speculation. Multiple drivers have admitted privately that racing Max feels different. Not aggressive, inevitable. That perception alone gives him margins others don't get. Now let me ask you something, and be honest. If you were learning a brand new car with brand new rule, who would you least want behind you on lap 1? Exactly. Another overlooked advantage, workload tolerance. 2026 will dramatically increase driver cognitive load. Energy management maps, battery harvesting windows, deployment strategies, all while racing wheel to wheel at 300 kilometers per hour. Some drivers will drown in information. Max thrives in it. His radio communication has become calmer, shorter, more surgical over the years. Less emotion, more clarity. That's not personality, that's evolution. During the tight 2025 season, even as the championship slipped away by just 2 points to Lando Norris, Max remained composed. No panic, no desperation, just execution. That mental resilience is exactly what regulation resets test the most. And here's a cliffhanger worth staying for, because this part changes everything. The 2026 power unit split increases electrical output dramatically. Drivers will need to manage lift and coast more aggressively, especially in races. Most fans think lift and coast is boring. Drivers know it's deadly when done wrong. Max has quietly become one of the best at disguising it. He loses minimal lap time while saving maximum energy. That means while others defend, Max attacks later in the stint. While others run out of deployment, Max still has weapons left. That's how races are won without overtakes even happening. Quick break. If this is making sense so far, hit the like button. It helps more than you think. And drop a comment telling me this. Do you believe 2026 will help Max, or finally stop him? I genuinely want your take. Let's keep going. People assume regulation resets favour younger drivers, but resets actually favour drivers with strong internal reference systems. Drivers who don't rely on muscle memory tied to one generation of car. Max entered F1 young, but he's already raced through multiple eras. High downforce cars, ground effect cars, heavy hybrids, light fuel loads, heavy fuel loads. That diversity gives him a broader adaptation range than most of the grid. Meanwhile, rivals are still refining one style. Max has already abandoned 3, and don't ignore the team factor. Red Bull's approach to 2026 is aggressive. They are betting on integration, engine, chassis, and driver working as one system. Max isn't just the lead driver, he's part of the feedback loop. His ability to describe car behavior accelerates development. That means while others search for balance, Red Bull finds direction. This is where fear creeps in for rivals, because even if 2026 starts evenly, development speed will decide everything. And Max historically improves faster than anyone else once a baseline exists. He doesn't need the best car on day one. He just needs a workable one. Remember this moment? When others realize the gap isn't closing, it's shifting. Now let's address the biggest myth, that 2026 will neutralize driver impact. That's false. It amplifies it. When cars are unpredictable, driver input matters more. When energy is limited, decision-making matters more. When grip is inconsistent, feel matters more. And Max Verstappen has built his entire dominance on those exact variables. We're approaching the end now, but here's the final cliffhanger. And it's uncomfortable. What if 2026 doesn't create a new era, but confirms the same king? Because unless another driver evolves faster, thinks deeper, and adapts harder than Max, the reset won't save them. It will expose them. So when you hear people say 2026 will finally stop Verstappen, remember this video. Remember that resets don't erase mastery. They reward it. And if you want to understand this story even deeper, my next video breaks down how Max's driving style physically punishes teammates and why copying him fails every single time. It's linked on screen right now. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Drop your opinion in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one, where Formula One stops being just racing and starts becoming psychology.